everyone, my name is Chelsea and welcome back to my channel. For today's video, we're tier ranking Buffy. So last week, I officially finished my Buffy and Angel rewatch. It probably wouldn't have taken me so long except for my mom started watching around Buffy season 2 and got very invested. Like, she would just show up every so often when I was doing my rewatch, and it got to a point where I was like, are you actually invested in this? Should I like stop and like go back a little bit and let us rewatch some things? And we watched everything else from then on. So last week, like I said, we finished Angel season 5, and we are now going to be starting a new series on this channel where I am going to be reading all of the Angel and Buffy comics, all of the canon things, and the Boom Studios reboot, and everything possible. But I thought it would be really fun to sit down and tier rank all of the Buffy and Angel seasons, as well as all of like the main characters. I'm just using tier maker lists that are already available. I will leave the ones I used linked down below, but I've never really done one of these. And so it was just one of those things where I was like, you know what? I'm very much in that Buffy Angel space. I am still very invested, and I'm about to become even more invested when I read all of the things. So that's what we're going to do today. So the first one that I'm going to be doing is the Buffy and Angel seasons tier list, because I just figured this is gonna have maybe less talking. This is just gonna be like the overall seasons. And right now they are in order from all the Buffy ones from 1 through 7 and all the Angel ones from 1 through 5. They give us S tier, and then A, B, C, and D. So obviously S tier would be like the best, and then D tier would be at the bottom. I don't even know if I would be able to just go through and start with Buffy season 1 and like talk through it that way. I almost feel like I need to talk about like my favorites and start with those. So like maybe my favorites of Buffy and then my favorites of Angel and go through there. Like, do I have a ranking? Because I sort of do. So for example, I think Buffy season 3 and Buffy season 5, I think, are my absolute top favorites. Season 5 is for sure up there. I just absolutely love that one. I love Glory as a villain, and I love the overarching plot line. I love the finale. Like, they did such a good job with that. The character development, everything that's happening there. Like, I love that one. But I also want to say Buffy season 3. Again, the way that they have the villains and the characters and like Faith and her introduction, and again, the finale of it, I just absolutely love. So I think those are like my top 2 seasons of Buffy. Right after that, I'm gonna say season 7. I know some people didn't like the finale as much. I still really enjoy it. I love the whole bringing new Slayers in and we get some new characters and character development. Yes, I wish for more from the finale, but at the same time, I think it wrapped it up pretty well. So I did absolutely love that. Moving down to, I guess we'll say B, I'm gonna go with season 6. I still really love season 6. I know some people don't love season 6 because they don't love the villains and things. I feel like season 6 is very real. Yes, it is devastating at times, and like the switch to the main bad happens near the end, obviously. In that episode, we all know what I'm talking about if you've seen this, right? And it's devastating, but smart at the same time, the way that they did it. I still really do love season 6. I probably could put it up at the A's as well. I will say, I don't think necessarily anything is like horrible. I think I might put it back at A, because after that, I really do like seasons 1 and 2. I really do. I think season 2 and then season 1, but again, I still really do enjoy them. Buffy season 4 is my least favorite season of Buffy. I think they had some good things happening, especially in the first half of season 4, but I did not necessarily enjoy our villain or the storyline related to that. It got to a point where I was like, I'm done. And I've seen Buffy many times. Like, even with my mom there, we were like, we're over this storyline. I would like it to be done quicker. So yes, season 4, not my favorite. Okay, let's go into Angel. Angel season 5 is my favorite. I think it just has a better overarching storyline, and I love the addition of Spike and Harmony. It's just so good. And it's one of those things, my mom obviously was watching this with me, and she said when we were watching like Buffy and Angel, going back and forth between different episodes and different story arcs and things, she's like, I was watching it and I wanted to like always go back to Buffy. Like out of those two, Buffy was better. But then when Buffy's not in the picture anymore and it's just Angel season 5, she's like, I'm really invested in this. And I was like, yes. However, I personally think it's because of the storylines and things of season 5. It's a little more humorous in a way than some of the other seasons of Angel. And so I just really love season 5. I love the environment that they're in. Yes, again, there are some devastating things that happen in season 5 and that finale. I'm hoping we do get some like more answers in, I think, what is it, Angel After the Fall? Because I never read those. I've seen Buffy many times. I feel like I've only watched Angel once, and this was like my first actual rewatch of all of Angel. So I'm definitely curious to see about those. But let's go back into it. This is where it gets a little bit harder because I do think Angel season 1 is lower in quality than some of the other parts of this season. However, I think maybe Angel season 4 is my least liked because of certain storylines. Not necessarily certain characters and things, like yeah, true, but the storyline, the way that Cordelia's character and things happened, I'm gonna actually maybe put that down there. Even though, again, by that time in the story, we have like our main cast of the Angel Investigations characters, I'm gonna put it down there. I think I'm gonna put season 1 above that because in my opinion, Angel didn't really get good and get going until season 2, like when we started to get more characters. Like we're not introduced to Gunn until very end of season 1. We're not introduced to Lauren until the beginning of season 2. We're not introduced to Fred until the end of season 2. Like these characters that I've come to love as characters, we're not introduced to them for a while. I did like a lot of things with Angel, especially like in the beginning with Doyle and things, and it was so sad how like we weren't able to keep him in the show longer. So while I do enjoy a lot of things with Angel, I just think season 1's not as good. Season 2, I do think was really good. Because we were introduced to, Gunn was more on the show now, Lauren was there more often, and season 2, where they go to Pylea at the end, I think is one of my favorite arcs that they do. It's just so good. I actually might put season 2 of Angel up here in A, because I just really enjoy it. Season 3 had the whole baby storyline, which is interesting, is intriguing. I will say that there's some parts I don't think I like as much, but maybe I still want to say it's A. I still really enjoyed it. So if we're looking at my list of Buffy and Angel seasons overall, this is more just personal enjoyment, maybe character development or things like that. My S tier is Buffy season 5 and season 3 in that order, but like barely. And then Angel season 5. Absolutely love. Going down to A tier, I do have Buffy season 7 as well as season 6. I really enjoyed those ones. And then we also have Angel season 2 and season 3, which I think personally was maybe like the stride of the show minus season 5. Like 1 and 4 were not nearly as strong. Going to B tier, I have Buffy season 2 and season 1. Those ones are a little bit more campy, a little bit more also focused on like individual monsters per episode. I think season 2 near the second half definitely focuses more on like an overarching storyline with the big bad and things. But I just find the overall plot lines better in some of the later seasons. Going down to the C tier, I did not really enjoy a lot of the stuff that happens in season 4. Like there are some good developments, but overall I got bored, especially near the end. And then Angel season 1 as well. It was very similar, and maybe that's when they overlapped. Maybe it was just the fact that I was having to watch them at the same time, but by the end of Buffy season 4 and Angel season 1, I was like, I'm ready for the next season. I think also because I knew I enjoyed Buffy season 5 a whole lot more. We get a whole lot more stuff going on, but I was dragging at the end of Buffy season 4 and Angel season 1, but then also Angel season 4 had my least favorite storyline overall. So we're gonna put that down there. Okay, and now we're gonna hop over to the other one that I have here, which is Buffy and Angel characters tier list. We have absolute favorite, love, like, they're all right, don't really care, dislike, and hate. And this is like the main characters that we have here. We did have some other lists that I saw that had like every single possible little tiny character we could talk about. And I also don't see any villains on this list. I think we will mention those as well. I don't know if there's a way for me to add images. I think there are. So we might have to do that. Okay. I added in like all the big bads, and there was also some characters that I feel like deserve to be on this list from Angel that were not on this list at all. I hopefully got enough people in here. Yes, let's just do it. It is in alphabetical order, so that's what we're gonna do, I think. And so the first one that we have is Adam. I did not care for his character as a big bad specifically. Like, I sort of understand what they were going for with it. I also think the finale and how they handled him was very quick, because then we also had like a different finale that wasn't with him as a big bad. I don't know if I would necessarily say I hate him as a character and how it works, but it is one of my least favorite, I want to say. I'm gonna at least go with dislike for now. Let's go to Andrew. I love Andrew. I know some people do not like I said, season 6 before and things like that. I absolutely love Andrew. I don't know if I would call him an absolute favorite, but especially when we get further into his character and things like that, I do absolutely love him. I laugh a lot when he's on screen, so that's what we're gonna do with it. Next we have Angel. I'm gonna also count Angelus in this because why not? It is two sides of the same coin. They're all right. I was never a big Angel fan in the first place on Buffy. Like, it's fine, a little bit weird, but like, okay, whatever. I do think he gets better on Angel, but at the same time, there are still things where I'm just like, it's fine. Like, he's not my favorite character from either show. So we're gonna go with all right. Next, we have Anya. I love Anya. I do. Again, another character that makes me laugh. She's very sarcastic, has so many good lines. I love what they did with most of her character. The fact that she is like an ex-demon and having to relearn things, but also then we do find out that she is just sort of blunt and has always been blunt, even when she was a human. I love her a lot. We're gonna go with Buffy. Buffy is great. Would I say absolute favorite? Maybe not. Maybe not. Again, I might change my mind. We shall see. But again, I feel like her as a character is very solid and definitely like takes the whole show to where it needs to be. Like, if we didn't have her, obviously we wouldn't have the show, and the way that they did her is very, very well. We're gonna go with Love for now. Next, we have Caleb. I put him in here also as sort of like for the First as a villain, because the First is a very unique villain in the fact that it can show up as almost anybody who's ever died at least. Very hard to sort of put a picture in here. And because of that, I do feel like we had quite a few episodes with Caleb as more of the main big bad in season 7. And I don't love. There definitely were some things that I was like, okay with, but overall, as the main last villain, I think there were some things that were very good, very well done. So we're gonna put them there. The next one we have is Connor. Can I say I hate Connor? I sort of want to say I hate Connor. He got better in the couple little times that we saw him near the very end of Angel. And so like this is not necessarily a product of him himself. It's a product of his situations. And I do feel bad for him. Okay, maybe I just dislike him. I do feel bad. But the part that he was in the most, season 4, is my least liked season of any Buffy or Angel at all. And so in general, I don't have strong good feelings for him. Next we have Cordelia. I really enjoyed her in Buffy. The character that she was, the sort of like mean girl character, was very well done. I think she was also very, very good on Angel. However, there were some things, some choices near the end that I didn't like as much. I'm gonna say like, overall, really, really liked. But there were some things. Next, we're gonna have Darla. Darla was not on this list. How could we not have Darla on this list? She was in Buffy for a little bit, but I feel like was a major playing point in Angel. Darla is a very interesting one because there are times where I hate her, and then there are other times where I love her. And so I think we're gonna go sort of like right in the middle because she has such a dynamic presence, especially because we also get her in flashbacks and things like that. She's not just this one character through this one time. We see a lot of different stuff about her. She's overall a very interesting character, even if there, like I said, there were some things I didn't really enjoy. Okay, we're gonna go to Dawn next. Dawn, again, another character that I feel like a lot of people hate. I don't think I hate. I do feel like maybe I don't really care about her, to maybe she's all right. She doesn't have as much of a major presence to me as some of the other side characters or like supporting characters in Buffy. There are certain things that I'm just like, they happen around her more than her being in the plot. So I'm gonna go with there, maybe. We're gonna go to Doyle. I wish Doyle was in so much more. I really, really liked him as a character and the stuff that we got to see, but it was just so small of things that we got to see. I want to put him up here though, because I really did like him. Drusilla. Okay, Drusilla is very interesting. She's crazy, obviously. We know she has been driven insane. And I think because of that, she is a very interesting character. I don't think we got to see her nearly as much as the other vampires. I'm gonna go with like, because I feel like they could have utilized her a little bit more and we just didn't really get that chance. The next character that I put in here is Eve. Angel doesn't seem to have as many big bads as Buffy does. And so I just felt like we needed a little bit more representation. She was in the majority of season 5 of Angel, and I didn't like her. Can I just say that? I don't know if I hated her, but I didn't like her. Next, we have Faith. Faith is such a good character to dislike, especially in season 3. And then she has some really good character development. She is one that I really, really enjoy. So we're gonna go with like. I think I need to switch my chart around a little bit. I feel like I'm being a little bit too nice to the people that I dislike and not nice enough to the people that I actually love. I'm gonna move Andrew and Anya up to absolute favorite because I do really enjoy them. And then I think I'm gonna move Faith up to love. And I still feel bad about the hate thing. We'll see about that. But I'm just like, characters that like I just really enjoy every time they're on screen have to be up here. I still really love them. I do. Okay, let's continue. Oh, we have Fred. I love Fred. Do I absolutely think she's a favorite? Maybe, but I absolutely love Fred. Putting her in love for now. She was a great addition to Angel. I mean, we didn't get to see her until end of season 2, but I feel like that's really when we had a solid core of people on Angel, and she had great character development. The next one that we have on here is Giles. Love Giles. Again, I don't know if he's an absolute favorite because he's not in it as much near the end of Buffy, and again, there are some character choices, especially near the end, that I don't know But yes. Oh, Glory. As a villain, she's an absolute favorite. She is my absolute favorite villain, especially. But like even as a character, as the person who portrays her as the actress, like she did a phenomenal job. I loved everything about her. So she has to be an absolute favorite. Okay, we're gonna go with Gunn. I'm gonna say I like. Again, not in necessarily like my absolute favorite or the love category for side characters, supporting characters on Angel, but a very integral part of the team. You can't have a lot of stuff going on without him, so yes. Next, we have Harmony. They had Harmony on here, but they didn't have some of these other characters, which is just so funny to me. Okay, so Harmony, didn't really like her in Buffy as much, but I did enjoy her, especially at the end of Angel. So I'm gonna put in like, because again, there are times that I did not like her. By the time we're in Angel season 5, I did absolutely love her. But again, I think we could have used more time with her and she didn't have as much of a timeline. Jasmine. Okay, as a character, like for what was going on in the storyline, I did not like her. But this is something that I think partially saves Angel season 4. The actual way that they have to handle her and the way that the villainous nature comes out, I did really enjoy. So I'm gonna say that I liked her because the plot line of season 4 and all of that, not so much. As an actual character that people wrote and how the story played out, that I did like. Okay, we're moving into Jonathan. I'm gonna say he's all right because I liked him more in the early seasons of Buffy. I do enjoy season 6 and the way that the trio is the villain. I feel bad for Jonathan. I want to like him more, but he had choices that he could have made better. And so while I do feel bad for him, especially near the end of season 6 and season 7 and things like that, he could have been better. He could have been better. Oh, we have Joyce. I want to say we love Joyce because we do. However, she was missing for a lot of season 4 of Buffy. And there were some things early in Buffy, like season 1, season 2 type of things, where she could have been a little bit more supportive as a mom. So I'm going to go with like, I think, because she goes back and forth for me. Early seasons, not as much. Later seasons, much better. I did like her, but we're going to put her here. Okay, we have Kate. Kate is someone that was not on this list originally, but again, if I'm trying to pick characters that I think needed to be on this list, were in enough seasons. She was in like 2 seasons of Angel. I forgot she was in 2 seasons of Angel from the first time I watched it to when I restarted it. She popped up in one of the episodes and I was like, oh yeah, she's in this show. I don't like her in this show. I never really liked the development of what happened between her and Angel. I think I might have to put her in hate. I don't think I necessarily hate her. I think I hated the situations and the fact that she didn't really seem to need to be there and just sort of caused problems. Okay. We have Lila. They're all right. She's not my favorite Wolfram and Hart employee. She was fine. I appreciated what she was there to do, but like, eh. Next we have Lindsay. I liked him slightly more, I think. Is it enough to put him in like? I don't know, because he was gone for quite a bit when she became our main Wolfram and Hart lawyer type person that Angel had to play against. He was gone. I feel like they're both sort of on the same level. I appreciate what they were here to do, but yeah. Lorne. I love Lorne. I think he actually is an absolute favorite. I love Lorne a lot. I love what they did with his character. Just everything about him and the pacifist demon that he is, I appreciated. Again, lots of funny lines. I feel like that's the kind of stuff that I enjoy a lot. Okay, the next one we have here is the Master. I don't really care. I don't really care. I think part of it is that season 1 was so short compared to a lot of other seasons. We didn't have enough development in between the like monster of the week type thing to really get into the master. He was fine. He was fine. The next one we have is Oz. He is an absolute favorite, I think, even with the stuff that happened near the end of his run there. I just absolutely loved him. So, yeah. We have the mayor. I don't think he's an absolute favorite, but he is one of my top tier villains. Another reason I absolutely love season 3. I feel like the dynamic between him and Faith and Buffy and like everything that went down was phenomenal. Season 5 and season 3 are like my absolute favorites, and as you can tell here, I think part of it is the villains and how they work together or against the other characters. Great. Okay, we have Riley. I did not like Riley. I don't think it's enough to hate him, but I didn't really care for the romance between him and Buffy. He was there, and then like the reason that they broke up and everything like that, I was over him before the show was over him. We have Robin Wood. I liked him. I wanted more from him. He didn't come in until season 7, and I was very intrigued by him, especially like in relation to Faith and things like that. I would love to have seen more. I liked his backstory. I liked the different stuff that they were doing with his character. I just wished we had more time to love him. And I know that sounds bad because I have Andrew as an absolute favorite who also was not in like a ton of things, but I feel like that we just needed a little bit more from him as a character. I did really like what we had though. Spike. My absolute favorite of absolute favorites. I am a Buffy girl. Spike in general, from the day 1 get-go of season 2, is my favorite. I love pretty much every scene and thing that he is in. So much character development, not all of it good, but like in general, very dynamic, very funny, very different, and wants your attention on the screen. Like he is my absolute favorite of all of them. And then we have Tara, love. Again, I feel like they could have utilized her more, because I loved everything about her. It was so, so good. I mean, I did like season 6. She's part of the reason it's so devastating, but I did like her. And speaking of Warren, okay, we hate Warren. We hate Warren. He is the driving force behind season 6 and the trio and things like that, but not in a good way. Like yes, but as a character, as the season progresses, like there is so much to hate about Warren, and they make you hate him good. You know what I mean? Like, yes. I hate him. Okay, we have Wesley. Okay, Wesley would have been like, I don't really care in Buffy. And then obviously as the show goes on, it goes higher and higher. I feel like he needs to go in love because I do love him. I am now thinking I actually might need to put Fred up here with all of our other little people in absolute favorite. Because if I was going to rank like my favorites of Angel in general, Lauren and Fred are like my 2 top. Wesley is very high up there as well, so I think we're going to have to do that. I do love Wesley. Okay, Willow. I do absolutely love Willow. Again, there are some things in later seasons that give her a little bit more of a dynamic character, but like not 100% good. And I think I like that for her. It makes her not an absolute favorite because of that, but I do like that her character was taken all those places. And then our last one, we have Xander. And for Xander, I'm leaning toward they're all right. I mean, I do like him. Maybe like him. He's in between those for me. Just sort of like how Dawn is between they're all right and I don't really care, because like we didn't really need her in a lot of things. We don't really need him in a lot of things, but at the same time, he does have a lot of heart and he is a core part of the Scooby Gang. So there are some things he says that did not age very well from when the show first came out to now, but I feel like if you grew up in that age range, like back in the late 90s, early 2000s, it is very real still. I do like him, even though sometimes I'm just like, Xander, why did we do that? I'm gonna put him as like, okay, I think I'm feeling pretty good about this list. I had more absolute favorites than I think I realized. Spike is the top, and then like pretty much any scene that had Oz in it, and Anya, and Andrew, and then, you know, Fred and Lorne. I loved. Lori, absolute favorite villain. Like, I loved her so, so much. And so in general, as you can see, I have a lot of characters that I liked more than characters that I didn't like or didn't care about, which I think is good. I feel like that's very similar to the way that I feel about the seasons and the episodes. Like, in my head, Buffy's a perfect 10 out of 10 show. Is it actually? Would I rate every episode 10 out of 10? No, but for nostalgia's sake and the fact that I absolutely love it and want to, like, whenever I'm watching it, continue watching it all the time, of course it is. So yes, that is going to be it for this video with the rankings, at least. Like I said, we will be starting reading all the Buffy comics soon, but that means this weekend we are going to be starting to read a bunch of Buffy things. Technically Angel things. Angel After the Fall comes first. We will dive into a lot of spoilers probably with that as well, just because I don't see any other way that we're gonna do it. Spoilers and probably some like look at the art pages and the different things that were published and like what everything is going on with that. So yes, I hope you would like to stay along for the ride. According to my calendar of me trying to figure out how many things I actually have on that list and how long it might take me to do, and I don't know if I'm going to be able to read as many things in a weekend that I think I'm going to, but right now it is looking like I will be reading Buffy stuff every weekend until like middle to end of October. So that'll be fun. I mean, I'm not complaining, but that is going to be coming up soon. So I hope you guys enjoyed this. I hope you're looking forward to more Buffy stuff, and that's going to be it. If you guys like this video, give it a thumbs up to let me know. Subscribe to this channel if you'd like to see more videos. I have videos coming out Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays, so I will see you then. Bye!